Welcome back. In the last clip we tweaked the ocean spectrum here to get a more stormy ocean surface. Now we will use the ocean wave SOP to create some really big waves which will hit our boat. So hit the tab key and let's search for the ocean wave SOP, drop it down and just connect it to our merge spectra node here. And at the moment you won't see any effect because number of waves is not ticked on. Let's tick it on. And you will see one big wave here in the middle. So here you have several parameters to adjust. You can set the number of waves, you can set the points per waves, because inside the ocean wave SOP there's just a line with scattered points and then the waves will be copied onto these points. So we can adjust the size and the separation. But as we are looking for more control for the placement of our waves, let's use another method here. Just untick it again here, number of waves, and you will see here that this node has an input and it says wave instancing points. So we are going to scatter our own points which controls where the waves get instanced. So to do this, let's drop down a grid and adjust the size. Let's put 119 here, 79 there. If you wonder about these numbers, it's just that I had the best impact of our waves with these values. I will also provide inside your folder here, if you let's drop down a file SOP, and then I will provide these points that are already created and animated inside here. Just browse, and in your geometry folder of your project, in the 0303 start folder, you will see these wave instancing points here. So you can also use the cache, but we will now continue creating it on our own. So just drop down the grid here, let's say 5, 5, and also offset it a bit, 13 and minus 5.6. Okay, that's fine. Now let's drop down a scatter SOP to create points. And 14 should be fine. We just want to create some big impact waves, so that's fine. And now let's connect it to the ocean wave SOP. And you will see that at the position where these points are, the waves will be created. So that's exactly what we want, but at the moment these waves are not moving through the ocean. So let's drop down a transform SOP and animate these points. Also scale them a bit along the x-axis so they are a bit more spread. Okay, let's point 21.8 here. Let's set a keyframe with an alt and a left mouse button. Okay, let's go to the end and say minus 50 and again keyframes. Now you will see that the big waves are moving in the same direction as the other waves. Let's adjust the curve a bit with a shift and middle mouse button here. Now the graph will open up. Just frame it with the G key and select both keys and say interpolation linear, the function to linear. Okay, that should be good now. Now they are moving almost in the same speed as the other waves, perhaps a bit slower, but they are also bigger, so that's fine. And you can see now that especially in the end here, a big wave is coming and will hit our boat. But perhaps it could be a bit bigger, so last thing we have to do is to adjust the shape of our waves. This can be done here again on the ocean wave SOP, and it will adjust it for all points. So let's see what options we have here. The crest width defines the size of our waves, so let's put a 30 here. And as we are creating these longer low frequency waves which are not so sharp, let's point a 0.45 here. And this radius just tells Houdini in which radius around your points the wave will affect the ocean. So let's put a 27 here, so there's some space between the different waves which gets instanced. Rotate them a bit, and as already mentioned, we want to increase the size a bit. Let's push the amplitude to 1.8. Now they are much bigger. Okay, you will see that in the end here a big wave will hit our boat and create a big whitewater splash. Last but not least, let's set the shape seed here a bit, just that the variance is distributed differently, so put 1.587. Okay, that looks good. Now we have some bigger waves moving through our ocean, but it's not looking uniform because we used our own points and not just the number of wave function here. So in the end our ocean will have a natural look. And remember, if you're unsure about the values here, you can just use the file sop and browse to geometry. I can just load them in quickly to see how it works. Wave instance points, select it and connect it to the first input. You will see no difference and it's also working. So if you want to make sure that you have the correct wave instance point, you can just use this file node here. Okay, that's it for this clip. In the next one, we will begin to prepare our boat for the flip simulation. See you there.